Grant, you said your priority after Thursday night were kind of picking through the bones of that and focusing on a few of the issues from that. What's been your kind of priority with that? What has been your focus?
Yeah, like as we do every game, we analyse the game. We look at the areas where we can get better for sure, and that's win, lose or draw, like we always say. But focus also on the positives. And watching the game back, I thought we were very good first half, taking the 2 goals out of it. Performance levels was very high, energy was good, the press was good. We looked really good and threatening going forward. Obviously, we've conceded 2 very sloppy goals from our point of view that can be avoided. And we showed the players the goals that we conceded this morning. But we showed them the good bits and how many times we got into their final third. I speak about it all the time. I'm not really a big believer in expected goals and stuff like that, but it was high in the game, really high. So we know we had the basis of a decent enough performance. And like I said after the game could have been very different. Could have been 5-5. The amount of opportunities that we created, but the chances that we give up was too easy for our liking, and we know we have to learn from that and get better at that. Important
not to throw the baby out with the bathwater just based on the scoreline, basically.
No, we won't. We've been in really good form, and I'm enjoying watching the team play at this moment in time. We're creating lots of opportunities and chances, and we need to stay on top of that. We have to focus on that, but obviously just refine. On Thursday night, I keep getting the days mixed up. Thursday night, when you don't do the basics of defending in football, you can't get punished, and that happened to us a couple. Probably 3 of the goals anyway, where we can certainly avoid it. It's really just, for us, real mistakes.
We talked about kind of the doggedness, the digging in, and sort of that in the early stages of that good run of form. But in these last couple of games, has it been more of a sign of the kind of attacking side of things that you're looking for, and that kind of coming together with the chances created and some of the football that you've been playing?
I think the energy's been really good, really, really good. The press, obviously the front boys. What happened in the game, in the Chesterfield game, is the structure sort of changed, and I don't know why. We spoke to the players this morning. The way we were working against Chesterfield, we had Joe dropping on an Oldacre and Streety and Moles pressing their centre halves, and we sort of flipped it in the second half. We spoke about it at half time about Joe jumping more, but we did it all second half, and that freed Oldacre, which gave us a massive space in between Joe and Oldacre, which they gained a bit of control in that 20 minutes. So there's definitely lessons for us to learn from in that game. All of us included, staff, players, everybody, that we just went away from what we did in the first half of the game. I think if we had stayed like we did and tried to be on the front foot, we spoke to the players about being on the front foot. Let's get the next goal. It doesn't have to happen in the first 5-10 minutes. It'll come if we continue to do what we're doing. It didn't. It went the other way, which sort of hit us, a massive blow for us, that third goal. But what was pleased about the group is we kept going. They're an honest group of boys, one of the best groups I've ever worked with in terms of honesty. And we got it out of the way this morning. The elephant out of the room, and now we can focus on Monday.
And that mood is good.
The mood's brilliant. Yeah, the mood's great. The lads who trained this morning fully trained very, very well, and everyone's chomping at the bit to play on Monday.
Knowing you'd have probably preferred to have a league game to respond to next up, but how much are you looking forward to this one as an occasion as much as anything?
I think it's a great game, isn't it? It's a game under the lights. Obviously not the right day that we want, the day we wanted it, but it's under the lights. That the ticket sales have been going through the roof. I don't think there's many left. And I've said it before, when our stadium, the Eco Power, is full, it's an unbelievable place to be at. And we've sampled it a few times since I've been here. Everton game, Crew game, the Barrow game, it was really full, back in the last season. So it's, the boys enjoy that. It'll be brilliant to play in front of that, full house again. FA Cup, it's against the Premier League team. We'll give it our best shot.
How pleased have you been with the response of the supporters? I think we've seen that growing over the season, but there are other alternatives for them to watch this game on Monday night, but they're coming to the stadium to do that. How pleased have you been with that?
Yeah, really pleased. And first and foremost, I think the club have been really reasonable in terms of the ticket prices, but our fans have been outstanding. For over 1,000 to go to Chesterfield, I'm sure we would have sold a lot more if we'd have been given a lot more. But as it happens, Paul Cook tells me they only give away teams 1,000 fans, and he's moved them from behind the goal to the side of the goal. So, you learn things all the time, don't you? So, yeah, for us, we, I've no doubt our fans will travel with us, be with us all for the rest of the season. This FA Cup game, the last 16 games, we're going to need everybody, helping us, supporting us, behind us, and trying to keep the boys in a good place.
We've been here before, obviously against Crystal Palace at the Eco Power Stadium 6 years ago. What do you remember from that day?
Yeah, I thought we played well in the day. We really did, and I remember receiving compliments from Roy Hodgson after the game of how we approached it. And obviously, look, they took the game away from us a wee bit in terms of their quality. But we could be proud of our performance that day. We're disappointed that we obviously lost, but lots of good elements, I think, if I can remember right. But we're coming up against a different animal and a different Crystal Palace team. They're in top form. We've had them watched. We've seen them a few times now. Cliff and our analysts went to watch them at Man United on Sunday. So they're a good team. They've got real top quality players in their team, all through their team. Pace, athleticism, internationals, you name it, they've got it. So we know we're going to be in for a tough night. But we're looking forward to it. I don't think anyone gives us any sort of opportunity to progress, so we can almost go and give it the best shot that we can.
Can you see why they've been so successful at Premier League level recently?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see that they stick to that structure. They play in a 3-box-3. They've got very clever players in that 10 position, and they've got pace on the sides, whatever wing backs they use and whatever 9 they use. Whether they play Mateta or Eddie Nketiah, they've got top players for the level. So we know exactly what we're up against, but it's for the players to go and test themselves against top class players. See how far they are from that. I think the Everton game was great for us this season. It gave us a little flavour of what the Premier League's about. And for large spells, particularly in that first half, I thought we were very good. But when you're playing against Premier League teams and you give them one opportunity, they punish you. So we know exactly what we need to do. We need to be good structure, defensively good on transitions. Look forward to the challenge.
I was going to ask you what's key for sides in your position going up into this games, but is it simply about staying switched on as much as possible?
Absolutely, and we'll approach the game as we always do. It's not about for us to come and sit behind the ball and let Crystal Palace have 80% of the possession. It's not the way I play. It's not the way our teams play. It's not the way this team wants to play. So we'll be aggressive as we always are. In terms of how we want to get against the ball, and then hopefully we can go and create opportunities off that.
Everybody okay heading into this one?
No, we've got a few issues from the game against Chesterfield. Jay McGrath missed the game, and probably miss the next couple of weeks, to be honest with you. He's got a bit of a groin strain that he played on through the game. Harry Clifton's got a little bit of a tight hamstring. Joe Ironside's not feeling the best. So a few knocks and niggles. Luke Molyneux's got a whack to the ribs, which he's a bit sore this morning. But as I always say, when you lose games, you tend to lose a couple of players as well when you lose a game. So it's disappointing for us, but we'll pick the best team we can, and hopefully give Crystal Palace a good game.
Since we've last spoke, Lewis Jones moving on. Tell us about that move.
Yeah, it was more to benefit Louis, really. I think I spoke to you about this, being fair to the group and being fair to players who I think need to go and play some football. Louis was one. He started the loan in Ireland really well, and then towards the end of the loan dropped out of the team. So he found himself probably about 8 weeks without football, because he came back early part of December, and he's obviously about 8 weeks now without football. So it's important he plays football. For where he is as a goalkeeper, he's still quite young in a goalkeeping sense, and I've no doubt he'll go there and do well. He's a good kid, Louis. He's been here for 8-9 years, come through the academy, and sometimes a change is good, and I think he'll benefit from that.